Where's your husband and kids? Oh, right, you don't have any. That's what my sister said to me in front of our entire family. And worse, my parents laughed. Have you ever felt like you were the joke at your own family dinner? Like your existence was just some punchline to make someone else feel better? Before we continue, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell for updates. Yeah, that was me last Thanksgiving. The forgotten daughter. The single one. The one who never lived up to her potential. They didn't see a woman rebuilding her life after crawling out of a divorce. They saw someone to mock, to measure themselves against. And my sister? Melissa always made sure to sharpen the knife before she twisted it. But here's the thing, you can only push someone so far before they snap. And what they didn't know is that while they were mocking me for not having it all, I was quietly building something none of them could touch. That night, they expected me to laugh it off, to shrink, to take it. But I didn't. Because I'd come prepared. Not to fight, but to end it. What I said after her little toast turned that smug smile into silence. And that was just the beginning. You ever walk into a room and immediately feel like you don't belong there? That was me walking through the front door of my parents' house like an outsider invited by mistake. The smell of roasted turkey and cinnamon hit me, but it didn't feel warm. It felt staged. Like the whole night had been scripted without me in mind. My sister Melissa was already holding court in the living room. Perfect hair. Perfect pearls. Perfect life. She looked up, flashed her fake smile, and said, "Oh look, Emily made it. All by herself." The room chuckled. Lightly. Like background laughter from a sitcom. Did they even know how hard it was for me to show up this year? How much it took just to walk into that house again? Melissa's kids ran up to her, hugging her legs like she was some kind of Disney princess. My parents, Janice and Mark, didn't even look up from carving the turkey. "Hey, sweetie," Mom said over her shoulder. "Glad you could finally come." Finally? I was 10 minutes early. It's always been like this. Melissa was the overachiever. Lawyer. Mom. Married to a guy with a country club membership. Me? I was the one who dropped out of law school, got married young, got divorced faster. To them, I was the cautionary tale. The background noise in Melissa's success story. But I didn't come here to fight. Not yet. I came to watch. To listen. Because I knew Melissa couldn't help herself. And when she finally slipped up, I'd be ready. Some people throw punches with their fists. Melissa? She uses her wine glass. It started subtle, like it always does with her. During dinner, she sat across from me, all smiles and slow sips of Merlot. "Emily," she purred, "still doing that freelance thing?" Not a real question. Just a stage cue. I nodded. Said nothing. Let her keep digging her own hole. Then she clinked her glass. A sharp little ting that made the room go quiet. "I just want to say how grateful I am," she said, standing. "For my amazing husband, my beautiful children, my incredible career, and most of all," her eyes locked on mine, "for the reminder that not everyone's life turns out the way they planned." Right, Em? The room chuckled. Nervously. I forced a smile. She wasn't done. "I mean, where's your husband?" "Oh, right, you don't have one." A pause. "Kids?" "Nope." She looked around. "But hey, at least you're showing up. That's a step." Then the worst part. My dad laughed. My mom shook her head and smiled, like I was some sitcom punchline they'd heard before. And for a moment, I almost broke. I felt 12 years old again. Small. Outnumbered. But then I remembered something. Something Melissa didn't know. And suddenly, I wasn't hurt anymore. I was calm. Because if she thought that toast was the climax of the night, she was about to find out it was just the opening act. You ever feel a switch flip inside you? Like 1 second you're the joke and the next you're holding the mic? I stood up. Slowly. Calmly. My fork hit the plate with a light tap. Melissa smirked, still holding her glass like she'd won. The queen of the room. And I said, "Where's my money?" "Oh right, you've been supporting me." "Until today." Silence. Her smirk twitched. "See, while you were busy counting my failures, I was building something. The room didn't move. No forks. No chewing. Not even the kids made a sound. I sold my startup last month. 7 figures. No debt. No investors. Just me. I let it hang there. My dad blinked. My mom opened her mouth, closed it. Melissa laughed once, short and nervous. What are you talking about? I built an app. Quietly. After the divorce. After the breakdown. While you were mocking me for freelancing, I was working 18-hour days learning to code, pitching strangers, surviving off ramen. Pause. And last Friday, the wire hit. 7 figures. I could see it, the shift. The way their faces turned from smug to stunned. Melissa's hand gripped her wine glass a little tighter. I just closed on a penthouse downtown. Fully paid. I move in tomorrow. A beat. Figured I'd give you one last family dinner before I stopped needing any of you. The silence was deafening. But the real blow? That came after dessert. Ever seen someone unravel without saying a word? After dinner, I slipped away to the hallway to grab my coat. The air felt lighter. But then, footsteps. Melissa. She shut the door behind her like we were about to have a sisterly heart-to-heart. Really, Emily? She said, arms crossed. You think throwing money around makes you better? I turned to face her. Calm. Steady. No, I said. It just means I never have to explain myself to you again. Her jaw clenched. You could see it, the panic beneath the polish. Her life had always looked perfect, on the surface. But perfection doesn't survive when the mirror cracks. Do you know how exhausting it's been? I asked her. Letting you win. Letting you think I was losing. Just so I could build without interruption. She didn't respond. Just stared. Like she didn't recognize me anymore. So I gave her the real blow. I've been paying for Ella's private math tutor. Her daughter. I didn't want her to fall into your shadow. She deserves better. Melissa flinched. You did that behind my back? No, I said. I did it quietly. The way real support works. She had nothing left to say. And I didn't need to stay. So I walked out, letting the silence follow me. But the story wasn't done yet. Because what I did next left everyone talking. I didn't storm out. Didn't slam the door. I just walked back into the dining room, calm as ever, picked up my purse and said, Thanks for dinner. Next time, maybe leave the insults off the menu. No one spoke. Not my dad. Not my mom. And definitely not Melissa. That silence? It was everything I'd been waiting for. Years of eye rolls, dismissive smirks, quiet digs, loud judgments, undone in a single night. But I didn't feel triumphant. I felt free. Because it was never about revenge. It wasn't even about proving them wrong. It was about finally standing in the version of myself they never bothered to imagine. Remember the toast Melissa made? Where's your husband? Where's your family? Here's the truth. Sometimes, the loudest life is the one you build quietly. And sometimes, the people who laugh at you the loudest are the ones most afraid you'll outgrow them. So let them laugh. Because eventually, they go silent. And when that happens, you'll know you've arrived. If you've ever been underestimated, mocked, or told you'd never make it, drop a comment. Say, still standing. Because sometimes, just showing up is the beginning. But rising above? That's the end they never see coming.